Welcome back to ABCGH Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the upcoming drama and emotional turmoil facing our favorite Port Charles residents as relationships are tested and alliances shift in unexpected ways. The tension between Laura Collins and Sonny Corinthos continues to escalate in fascinating ways. During Tuesday's episode, we'll witness a particularly charged exchange where Sonny, clearly unsettled by recent developments, confronts the Port Charles mayor with a pointed question: "Is someone pressuring you to come after me?" The concern etched across Laura's face speaks volumes about the complicated history these two characters share. Their long-standing friendship now hangs precariously in the balance as external forces seem determined to drive them apart. Will their bond, forged through years of mutual respect despite their different paths in life, survive this latest challenge? Only time will tell if Laura's political position will force her to take actions against Sonny that could permanently damage their relationship. Meanwhile, Trina Robinson finds herself seeking maternal guidance as she turns to Portia Robinson with what appears to be a significant confession. The mother-daughter relationship between these two has weathered numerous storms, and this latest confidence suggests another emotional hurdle approaches. Viewers will need to tune in to discover exactly what weighs so heavily on Trina's mind. Could it relate to her complicated feelings for Spencer Cassadine? Or perhaps it involves a new development in her academic or professional life that she's hesitant to pursue without her mother's blessing. The Robinson women have always shared a special bond, making this upcoming scene particularly anticipated by fans who appreciate their authentic portrayal of maternal love. The situation with Christina Corinthos Davis continues to deteriorate, creating ripple effects throughout Port Charles. Alexis Davis has recognized the dangerous pattern of Ava's blackmail attempts, understanding that giving in once would only embolden her to make increasingly unreasonable demands. The decision to have Christina committed represents a difficult but necessary step toward addressing her concerning behavior. While institutionalization might seem harsh, it offers Christina the professional help she needs before eventually facing legal consequences for her actions. This development carries particular poignancy for Molly Lansing Davis, who believed she had finally rebuilt her relationship with her sister. The sisterly reconciliation that Molly treasured now appears to have been built on unstable ground, setting the stage for heartbreak when she discovers the full extent of Christina's troubles. Family dynamics among the Davis women have always been complex, and this latest crisis promises to test their bonds in unprecedented ways. In Ava Jerome's world, overconfidence may prove her undoing. During her hospital room conversation with Rick Lansing, Ava projects absolute certainty about her schemes succeeding. However, Rick's warning that she could be wrong about that introduces a note of doubt into her carefully constructed plans. Ava's attempt to secure the Cassadine fortune through blackmail demonstrates her characteristic ambition, but her failure to anticipate potential obstacles reveals the flaws in her strategy. The chess match between these two cunning characters promises to deliver the kind of intellectual sparring that General Hospital viewers have come to expect from its most morally ambiguous residents. Carly Spencer's control issues surface once again as she confides in Jack Brennan about her fears regarding Michael Corinthos' children. Her admission that she may have inadvertently handed Michael's children over to Willow and Drew reveals her deep-seated anxiety about losing influence over family matters. Carly's history of manipulation stems from her protective instincts, but her methods often create more problems than they solve. Her conversation with Jack offers a rare glimpse of vulnerability from a character who typically presents a formidable exterior to the world. This moment of honesty might signal personal growth for Carly, or it could foreshadow more desperate measures as she attempts to regain control of the situation. The emotional journey of Willow Tate Corinthos takes center stage as she begins questioning her recent decisions. Having already begun relocating herself and her children to Drew Kane's residence, Willow now finds herself plagued by doubt following a confrontational exchange with Carly. The preview clip showing Willow opening up to Nina Reeves, acknowledging her growing concern that others might be right, marks a potential turning point in her character development. Willow's admission to her mother represents a significant moment of self-awareness. Unlike her biological sister Nellie Benson, whose malicious actions defined her character, Willow appears to be experiencing a temporary lapse in judgment rather than a fundamental change in her nature. Her current struggles reflect the universal experience of feeling lost and making mistakes while trying to find one's way. As many viewers have experienced in their own lives, sometimes the most painful lessons ultimately guide us toward better paths. Willow's current difficulties may ultimately strengthen her character and relationships if she can find the courage to acknowledge her missteps. Tuesday's episode promises even more dramatic developments as Willow confronts another difficult choice. The mounting pressure from family members regarding her relationship with Drew has clearly begun affecting her judgment. Sonny Corinthos also appears visibly shaken by recent events, suggesting that Port Charles's most powerful resident may be facing challenges he didn't anticipate. Additionally, the dynamic between Ava Jerome and Rick Lansing continues to evolve, with Ava offering assurances that Rick seems reluctant to accept at face value. The emotional complexity and character-driven storytelling that have made General Hospital a daytime television staple for decades continue to shine through in these upcoming episodes. As relationships fracture and reform, and characters face the consequences of their choices, viewers can expect the kind of compelling drama that keeps them returning day after day. Whether you're invested in Willow's journey towards self-discovery, Carly's struggle to protect her family, or the political machinations affecting Sonny's empire, these episodes promise satisfying developments for fans of all the show's major storylines. Remember to join us tomorrow for more exclusive analysis and behind-the-scenes insights as we continue exploring the rich tapestry of stories unfolding in Port Charles. The emotional roller coaster shows no signs of slowing down, and will be here to guide you through every twist and turn. Next, we will learn about the complex emotional landscape Jason Morgan faces in the aftermath of Sam McCall's tragic departure from Port Charles. The loss has created a void that many fans believe may never be filled, raising profound questions about love, grief, and the possibility of new beginnings in the soap opera universe. Jason Morgan's romantic future remains shrouded in uncertainty following the devastating loss of Sam McCall. The question lingering in many viewers' minds isn't just who might capture Jason's heart next, but whether anyone truly can. Sam's death represents more than just the loss of a beloved character, it symbolizes the end of a love story that defined Jason's emotional journey for years, leaving both the character and fans to navigate unfamiliar territory. The unexpected nature of Sam's demise has created a unique form of grief among the General Hospital audience. Unlike temporary separations or breakups that characterized their relationship in the past, Sam's current absence carries a finality that fundamentally alters the show's romantic landscape. The writers have effectively closed a chapter that many viewers weren't ready to see end, creating a narrative void that future storylines must somehow address. While soap operas are notorious for miraculous resurrections and implausible returns, Sam's current status forces both Jason and viewers to confront a world without the possibility of their reunion. This dramatic shift has transformed how audiences view Jason's potential romantic entanglements, casting a shadow over any new relationships he might form. The emotional investment in Sam built over years of storytelling creates an almost impossible standard for any new pairing to meet. Jason's current storyline involving Sasha Gilmore Corbin presents an interesting possibility for romantic development. Their arrangement, Jason pretending to be the father of Sasha's child, creates the classic soap opera scenario where pretense gradually evolves into genuine emotion. This fake relationship could potentially blossom into something authentic, offering Jason a new family dynamic that might help heal the wounds left by Sam's absence. The intriguing dynamic developing between Jason and Anna Devane adds another layer to his post-Sam romantic possibilities. Their clandestine meetings above Bobby's establish a foundation of secrecy and shared purpose that often serves as fertile ground for romantic development in the soap world. The contrast between Anna's sophisticated intelligence operative background and Sam's more street-smart approach could provide Jason with a different type of partnership, one that challenges him in new ways. We cannot dismiss the potential for Jason to reunite with Carly Spencer, especially as her relationship with Jack Brennan shows signs of instability. Jason and Carly share decades of history, unwavering loyalty, and an understanding that transcends conventional relationships. Their deep connection has always simmered beneath the surface, occasionally threatening to evolve into something more romantic. With Sam's permanent absence, the writers might finally explore this long-teased possibility. The introduction of an entirely new character remains a viable option for Jason's romantic future. A fresh face without the baggage of past Port Charles relationships could offer both the character and viewers a clean slate. However, this approach carries significant risks. Any new love interest would inevitably face comparison to Sam, potentially making it difficult for audiences to embrace the pairing regardless of chemistry or storytelling quality. Sam McCall's importance in Jason's life extended beyond typical soap opera romances. Their relationship weathered numerous obstacles, memory loss, presumed deaths, external threats, and periods of separation, yet maintained a core connection that resonated with viewers. This history creates a nearly impossible standard for future relationships, as any new love interest must not only establish their own connection with Jason but also overcome the audience's attachment to what came before. The decision to remove Kelly Monaco and her character from the canvas represents a significant gamble by the show's creative team. While it creates new storytelling possibilities, it also risks alienating a dedicated segment of the viewership. The writers now face the delicate challenge of honoring Sam's importance to Jason's character development while still allowing him to evolve beyond her absence. Despite the finality suggested by Sam's death, seasoned soap opera viewers understand that no character is ever truly beyond resurrection. Should Kelly Monaco negotiate a return to the show, the writers would undoubtedly craft an explanation for Sam's survival, however implausible it might seem. This possibility, however remote, keeps a flicker of hope alive for devoted JaSam supporters even as the show moves forward with new storylines. As Jason navigates this unfamiliar emotional territory, viewers will be watching closely to see how the character processes his grief and potentially opens himself to new possibilities. His journey reflects the universal experience of learning to love again after profound loss, a theme that resonates beyond the sometimes outlandish world of soap opera storytelling. The coming months will reveal whether Jason can find a love that equals or surpasses what he shared with Sam, or if her memory will continue to influence his approach to relationships. Either way, this development marks a significant turning point for one of General Hospital's most enduring characters, promising emotional storylines regardless of which romantic direction the writers ultimately choose. Next, we will learn about the dramatic relationship upheavals that are about to rock Port Charles to its core. The emotional landscape of our beloved characters is shifting dramatically, with heartbreak and revelations on the horizon that will forever alter the romantic dynamics we've come to know. Elizabeth and Lucky, a doomed reconciliation. Elizabeth Baldwin and Lucky Spencer's attempt to rekindle their once passionate romance stands on extremely shaky ground. Their history together spans decades of on-again, off-again connection, filled with both beautiful memories and painful betrayals. However, this current reconciliation appears destined for catastrophic failure. Lucky is harboring a dangerous secret that threatens to destroy everything they've rebuilt. The truth about Christina Corinthos Davis's involvement in the recent car accident weighs heavily on his conscience. Each day that passes sees Lucky digging himself deeper into a web of deception, all while Elizabeth believes they're building something honest and true. The irony is palpable. While attempting to protect their fragile new beginning, Lucky is actually undermining its very foundation. Trust has always been a cornerstone issue between these two, dating back to their earliest relationship struggles. Elizabeth has experienced profound betrayal in past relationships, leaving her with emotional scars that have never fully healed. When the inevitable revelation comes, and it will come, Elizabeth will likely experience not just heartbreak but a devastating sense of déjà vu. The pattern of deception she's experienced throughout her life will once again repeat itself, potentially closing the door on Lucky forever. Meanwhile, Lucky's growing connection with Christina raises intriguing possibilities. Their shared secret has created an unexpected bond between them. As Lucky's relationship with Elizabeth crumbles under the weight of his lies, will he find himself gravitating toward Christina? The chemistry between them has been subtly building, noticed by attentive viewers who catch their meaningful glances and lingering touches. Carly and Brennan, deception and danger. The relationship between Carly Spencer and Jack Brennan initially seemed promising, a fresh start for Port Charles's most notorious drama magnate. However, beneath Brennan's charming exterior lies a calculating manipulator whose actions will soon devastate Carly. Brennan's deceptions run deeper than anyone realizes. His manipulation of Jocelyn Jackson into participating in Cyrus Renault's downfall demonstrates a disturbing willingness to use those Carly loves as pawns in his larger schemes. The deliberate planting of Jason Morgan's hair at the cabin scene reveals a methodical mind willing to frame others to achieve his objectives. Perhaps most alarming is Brennan's recent involvement of Jocelyn in dangerous WSB operations, putting Carly's daughter at risk without her knowledge or consent. This reckless endangerment crosses a line that Carly will find unforgivable once discovered. Carly's famous intolerance for liars, a lying liar who lies as she often declares, makes the inevitable confrontation all the more explosive. Her reaction will likely be volcanic, a combination of maternal rage, personal betrayal, and humiliation at being so thoroughly deceived. The aftermath could potentially drive Carly back towards Sonny Corinthos, her eternal flame whose complicated love has defined much of her adult life. Despite their tumultuous history, Sonny has always understood Carly in ways others cannot. The familiar comfort of their connection might prove irresistible after Brennan's betrayal. Adding salt to the wound will be Jason Morgan's vindication. His warnings about Brennan, initially dismissed by Carly as overprotectiveness, will prove prophetic. Carly's pride will make acknowledging Jason's insight difficult, but their unshakable bond will ultimately survive this test. Willow and Drew, false Prince Charming. The relationship between Willow Corinthos and Drew Kane represents perhaps the most fascinating psychological study in self-deception currently playing out in Port Charles. Willow has constructed an idealized image of Drew as her perfect partner, honest, dependable, and morally upright. This perception couldn't be further from reality. Drew's manipulative nature remains hidden behind a carefully crafted facade of integrity. His entanglements with Nina Reeves and numerous other questionable dealings have thus far remained concealed from Willow's view. He presents himself as a fresh start, a stark contrast to her complicated history with Michael, while concealing his true character. Willow's eventual discovery of Drew's authentic nature will be devastating. The psychological impact of learning that her Prince Charming is actually closer to a villain will force her to question her judgment in profound ways. The cracks in Drew's carefully maintained image are already beginning to show, with observant viewers noticing subtle inconsistencies in his stories and behaviors. Interestingly, Willow herself has a complicated relationship with fidelity and commitment. Her history with Harrison Chase demonstrates a pattern of restlessness in relationships. The painful memory of her betrayal of Chase while he was poisoned and wheelchair-bound, choosing Michael Corinthos over her dying husband, reveals a capacity for selfishness that may resurface. This pattern suggests that even without Drew's deceptions, their relationship might have been doomed. Willow's apparent tendency to grow bored with partners indicates potential underlying issues with intimacy and commitment that extend beyond any specific relationship. The fallout from this inevitable breakup could send Willow in several directions. A reconciliation with Michael remains possible, though complicated by their shared history. Alternatively, she might find herself drawn to someone entirely new, perhaps someone who challenges her in ways neither Michael nor Drew could. The transformation of Port Charles. These three impending breakups will collectively transform the romantic landscape of Port Charles. The ripple effects will touch nearly every character, creating new alliances, rivalries, and possibilities. For Elizabeth, The collapse of her reconciliation with Lucky might finally free her to explore a relationship unburdened by their complicated history. Perhaps this will open doors to connections with characters we haven't yet considered as potential partners for her. Carly's inevitable split from Brennan could represent a turning point in her character development. Will she fall back into familiar patterns with Sonny, or might this betrayal finally push her toward genuine independence? The choices she makes in the aftermath will reveal much about her growth, or lack thereof, over the years. Willow's journey post-Drew presents perhaps the most intriguing possibilities. Her pattern of relationship hopping suggests deeper issues that might finally be addressed. Could this breakup be the catalyst for genuine self-reflection and growth?